MP9 in front. I mean, it's a good spot for it. And twist in the back insurance policy. But first player gets cleared out and it's down. Oh, takes twist out as well.
Double. Brokey trying to get over. And Stown hugs the wall up until tree.
Oh, and he heard him use every single bullet. Falling back on the save. Stown is literally hunting them down now.
Oh my God. This guy's bloodlust. Unquenchable. Of course, that's going to keep Jabby on high alert. So they're going to go ahead and try to deny this save from FaZe, which would be fantastic. We know how much they came in, invested, everything on the line here for FaZe, and they are surrounded inside this A site. Big moment here from Kerrigan. Yeah, that'll alleviate a bit of pressure. You can see the other guys start to walk back a bit. That's what's going to allow for the save. Critical moment there for Kerrigan to just take off the pressure.
Sure. Yeah, they'll definitely collapse on the site if not for it, so. Well,
new bomb radius.
It's huge.
He just died in library.
Yeah, he died in library?
Yeah, from a B.
No way. Yeah, I've heard it's completely changed the map, like, for the people scrimming and stuff, just figuring out where you can die from, and just like how far you have to go and how early you leave and stuff like that. It was the funniest update to come through because, like,
so random.
Literally, no one asked for it.
No, I think
it's it's made the map more interesting.
I think it's a sign of things to come.
As in bigger.
It's the trial run, so more maps might have bigger radius.
I think it was specifically a good thing for Inferno because the post plans are so strong.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's great. I mean, that is insane.
Took a straight piece of shrapnel to the side of the head.
You have to be on Mirage to avoid that bomb. I can't believe they made the circle that big.
I think a bigger one on Nuke would make it interesting, just so you couldn't save like above bomb sites or.
Yeah, it's true. There are other maps that where they're not big enough.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I
think for Inferno, when at first it's like, who asked for this? But you look at it and you're like, this helps make the map a bit better for sure. That's some good HE damage here on Stown.
Hefty. That damage could come through crucially as Twists and Rain are only on the USPs. So those who didn't survive the last round left with bare bones. Oh, nice kill from Brokey. Very quick from the corner, but obviously can't get away because Cadian's locked in on it. Now that exposes the issue that is Rain on the USP. Smoke will give him a chance to grab the gun, though.
Huh, I wonder what happens from this position. I mean, we still got 3 on A and 2 of the guns. Kerrigan's alone on the other side, but we're getting to a point in the round where it might be hard to go back. They still could, though. They still could.
If they do.
Wow, they're grouping halls. Interesting. This should not work, actually. This should be really good for FaZe with this setup. But there is one USP on duty by this door.
Oh, point blank. Twist tries to run in to grab that gun, but more bodies there in position. Try to redirect. Could they catch Kerrigan in mid? There is still time. Kerrigan's going to have to deliver with the Galil. Shush comes around the corner. Easy pickup. Shush is next. Oh, look at this. Cadian, he'll get the trade frag, but now 20 seconds scrambling for that bomb site. It's him versus Rain. An unarmored 5 and 14 Rain, but caught in the open because time is what makes the difference. Plays Cadian's hand right into FaZe's favor.
Yeah, we've seen a few important times in history where someone has pushed the flank a little too soon and then someone's run back. But in this spot, Kerrigan's got the good off angle. They're the ones who feel time pressed and worried, and he's got an advantage, at least for the first kill, and the second one, he probably needed it, so well done from Kerrigan. And I mean, the biggest shout out to Kerrigan for just bringing up his individual form to such a high and consistent level. I think for himself, it's not like overall compared to all pros, but it's definitely enough so that his team can be number one. They don't have to worry about him. He's fragging better than we can remember at many other points in his career.
Yep.
It's made a world of difference.
Hell of a time to do it, right? With the best roster he's ever had around him.
Well, I think that's why it is the best roster, you know, because he takes a lot of opening engagements. He does. Every player is important these days. That's the thing. So it's for him, it's almost never been a question of his teammates. He's always had really good teammates. Actually, he's probably the IGL who's played with the most elite players of all time. He's had that. You know, it's kind of fortunate to have had that chance to do it. I think what we've realized in this past year was it was really never about how many good players you could surround with him if he himself couldn't have some baseline level of performance.
Now he's out here out-fragging Rops and Rain. Major MVP Rain. Stown tasked with finding the biggest impact out of the gate, but AK exchanges hands, and now it's TessS's job.
That's crazy. 16 health? 60 health, I would have held on to that still. I'm like, nah, I'm not there.
I'm good, bro. I got this. We'll see what else Stown can offer. Now relegated to the Tech 9. They get top banana control at least. And they silently walk it back. So we'll try that A hit again, and Twist just got pulled off of this.
Brookie will rotate to within smokes, and Twist can pick up. And I think it's understood. It's a handshake here for Rock. They can't really throw any kind of crazy fake. So they'll try to do something funny here.
CT spawn under question.
Yeah.
Ooh, drive-by from Stown. Who needs the AK? Kerrigan.
Nice shot.
Chopping off his head, and then Brokey not able to deliver from inside sight, so Rock suddenly more pressure put on him, but he stops that bomb at the 7-second mark, and TessS just not going to be able to find much. He'll catch Rops on the headshot peak, but as time expires, TessS needing to make sure he stays alive. No one's going to be able to clear him out. A chance to go sprinting at that A site, but FaZe survived the test.
Yeah, nice effort. Maybe a bit ambitious to throw the CT wrap smoke and need to hit A with the amount of time left over, but with the pistols, even just getting kills is kind of nice. But yeah, now we're getting into the deep end here. The 9-11 scoreline. FaZe with the last two, and another mixed buy for Heroic that they get to chew through.
Sir, last 10 rounds of the map. BO1 only for the top seed of Group C. Jabby's down beneath Rops. Haven't seen, too much hyper aggressions from Rops on these lurks. But he hears the utility usage, so.
I mean, Rops peaks like he's going to die in real life if he messes it up.
Oh, you didn't see that. Should still know what's up. Oh my God, gets dinked for 95.
Youch. But now they're like, okay, well, we got a pit player low.
Let's go get this guy. Tech 9 to the teeth, Twists, gets aggressive. Drive-by from Shush, who has an AK but was using the Tech 9.
Respect.
Okay.
Can't run and shoot with one of those guns.
Fair point. Now what's left of Heroic, this 3-man grouping.
And let's see, Brokey. No utility, but he is fully healthy. He comes in to support Rain.
Wow.
Well,
a lot of pressure
up
here on Rain.
Yeah.
Not his best game ever, but a good moment to add some to the kill feed. Now we're talking Rops on 5, Rain on 10. Flash doesn't get him the better of Shush, who has found 3 kills this round alone. And we saw Shush with a multi-kill versus Big on Nuke with a headshot to the back of Kerrigan. I mean, he thought he was going to get away with that spam. Stown is standing right in front of him.
I feel like using all your ammo in that situation is it's definitely a good way to elicit a push. Of course, low numbers, so he didn't think they would go for it, but they did, and Heroic will
Breaking
pick up
through.
another one. Yeah, they'll break through in an unlikely situation. FaZe were not even done catching up here.
Oof, and Stown survives it.
Wow.
That's an X-Factor round out of Heroic.
It is.
And again, it comes from Shush.
It is. There's been a number of half and low buys from both teams now that have been converted. So full credit to the individual level of Heroic. I was talking about phases, but they can keep up. Just fired that. It's well done.
Feels like Kerrigan could have felt that one coming.
Yeah, he was like, yeah. yeah. All right.
All right. No. My bad.
third timeout called, and you're just trying to get your wits about you, win the rounds you're supposed to before you start, you know, playing upside down 40 chess. But at this point, it's every round is scary. Every round is interesting. We'll see if that's actually applies to the CT side of FaZe Clan here. They have an MP7, an MP9, and a Deagle to pair with 2 M4s.
Heroic being shown the door to victory here. Just a matter of getting through it. It's down quickly, dispatching of Kerrigan, so one of the M4s out instantly.
Yeah.
Poor Rain, whittled down to 52 HP. So a little creep and crawl here from Heroic, and they're going to play it on Arch side. They're going to meet Brokey's Deagle. Doesn't quite hit the mark. Smoke's down as well, so they're looking to envelop this A-site. Twists, he gets spammed through on that library smoke. He at least offers a smoke grenade into the bomb site for his teammates to work with, and Rain, sure enough, finding Shush through smoke. Keeps it 4v4. Health advantage Heroic, gun advantage Heroic. Minute 6, Yabi point blank. Oh, Robs, he does damage, but Yabi comes out alive. Twist's gonna be blindsided by Tesses tucked in Moto. Brokey found out in backside, so step by step, Heroic just gathering all the kills they need for an easy 13th round.
That was quite a nice search. Everything went well. You could see everybody alive. Got a kill here for Heroic. So, as they say, ain't no sitting at the table if you're bringing nothing to it.
That seems fair.
Yeah. I was wondering if the correct play was to bring the, I mean, it's easy, you know, for me, Captain Hindsight, to say don't run the M4 down mid when you've got, you know, a couple of SMGs in a round that you're kind of trying to win.
Yeah.
But I guess the logic is better odds to win your fights and a guy who's going to take the first ones. But it's in M4 that you don't get back. So that is something. Kerrigan goes out first, dies. No one can recover that M4, and they've got worse guns on site to deal with.
Nice.
With actually some decent spots when the attack comes in. So maybe if there were some better guns there, they could have won. But you got to take some kind of crazy risk when it's a mixed buy. It's a kind of a calm, Heroic in a winning position, which is not something you see every day.
No longer just a winning position, a very comfortable lead right now. Plus just USPs in this one, 14-9. That's an excellent spot that Heroic are going to find themselves in. On a map where we didn't really know if they'd be able to bring the heat. But that Jabby and Shush CT side certainly helped. A site locked down. And now this T side's been excellent. But apparently USPs are enough. And then Rain couples this with an M4 kill out of alt mid. He's gonna go for that boiler peak, drops another.
And some damage, and the Ts have an incentive to stay here with the guns, but the CTs also kind of want to be close to it. There's an alt push coming in. I mean, this is going to be hard to figure out if you're Heroic. They've got quite a puzzle on their hands.
We did just say that Cadian's a good caller. No doubt about that one. How do you get yourself out of this 2v4? Feeling surrounded. It's going to clear right. Love the position from Brokey. Scares the hell out of Cadian and kills Shush. 2 USP frags coming out of FaZe. We just tried to paint this picture that Heroic had an open door for 14. And then FaZe sprinkle in a little X factor. And if Cadian had 100 health, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, the dink, it really stings now.
Damn, Brokey getting dirty outside that library.
You know, his next closest teammate is miles away, so if Cadian susses this out, there's a chance for the plant, and we can go from there, but it doesn't seem like it's on his mind that someone could be in pool. There it is, he grabs it.
Nice shot.
And bomb plant can come in. There's no op here. He does have a Molotov.
Yep.
You know what? This isn't impossible.
Oh.
It's 16 health. If he wins it, it'd be massive. Let's see if he can do it.
Cadian, that brain is just pulsing. He's pieced together it as much as he can. This angle is going to give him a good chance at just taking Rops' head clean off, but he needs both kills, and he can't take a single bullet back. And that first shot from Twist, right between the eyes.
Yeah.
Big pickup from FaZe.
Yeah. Okay. Nicely done from Twist. Gave no shot. Clean kills and some good ideas. and some good use of the map. You know, everyone working alone, no utility, using, in fact, Heroic's utility against them, and even Brokey holding the sweatiest off angle in CT spawn to get that amount of damage and the kill. And he goes to type in chat.
He knows how nasty that one was. All right, then. Game on. Felt like FaZe were going down with a whimper. USPs bring the bang. Heroic hoping to buck back with the 2 MAC-10s and a quick apartments control. We saw them go for that one round where they clumped 3 players in here, but right now it's just the 2. TSS escorts Jabby, and then they decide to set their sights towards Banana. Rain gets just nailed by that frag. Maybe the aggressive positioning's not what they want right now.
Seen Heroic use a very similar setup, but this time no high position, which is really important in case they smoke lane, because if they do smoke lane, there's no way you can even cover Arch right now, right? And they can't actually see, I think, aside from Twist off the corner of the port. Maybe he does have a little bit of space, like Shush did in the first half. But right now, the rotations are extremely slow for FaZe, no matter how early they do it. So a lot of this comes down to the old guard here, Kerrigan and Rain.
MAC-10 so ready to gun them down. Twist's gonna get aggressive. That just feeds a frag to Jabby. And they're not gonna peel back from that B site. Hits coming through. Easy does it. TSS MAC-10 killing off what was left of Rain. Poor Kerrigan doesn't offer us much. And now suddenly it seems like Heroic's winning ways continue.
FaZe looked very stiff. Looked very stiff there. I mean, they committed extremely hard early in the round to a setup that had an enormous hole and had very slow rotations and never moved from them, and then played 2 very standard spots on the B site. No flash support, no information. In fact, that was not very like FaZe, I feel like, from the rest of this game if we want to compare it. So I'm not surprised Heroic went off of that. They just chilled on Banana. They let Yabi sit in mid, and because of FaZe's nervousness, they ran down mid a little bit early to try to flank Banana. And that was an easy frag for Yabi, so well done from him. Just being patient, but not surprised that Heroic picked that up.
How easy this one was. He said no place for information. That's the closest thing to it. Oh, Kerrigan inside the smoke.
Yeah, not a good look here to defend against match point. No, we'll more try to do that, I should say, before I get ahead of myself. Kerrigan on the MP9. And Brokey up on the op.
Brokey posted. Cadian sending the warning shot downtown.
Whoa.
Robs gets
wait,
wall
from
bang.
the back of ult.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Alt mid wallbang into the apartments to catch Rops. That's a big opening. One of his best maps yet for Heroic. He's definitely cooled off and let his teammates catch up, but look at the kill differential for Heroic. I mean, from 16 to 20.
Yeah.
And we know how, you know, leaps and bounds Jabby was ahead of his teammates. This is all of Heroic coming together to take down one of the world's best. On a map where, again, you kind of thought odds sway FaZe, but now Kerrigan.
Yeah.
Tough spot.
This is interesting. Okay, in this position, you can pull the pin on both positions. But we can have Twist get his kill and fall off, and Kerrigan push forward and take over lane control if things go right. Their eyes and their minds are on Arch, because if this gets cracked open, that's where they'll have to react by getting back some different space and moving into new spots. And it might actually be a play that works, even if it's pretty risky.
There it is, pressure on Kerrigan, but he's not going to see anybody. It's TSS alone in the apartments. Twist's good off angle for the Arch wrap. There'll be a question around when does TSS come out to help, and oh my god, Twisty gets nothing. Shush just tears through both. Couple of clean headshots, the bomb's planted on A, and that is Heroic. 15 rounds secured, 5 match points to top this group.
They were happy. Yabi got the kill on Rops at the beginning of the round.
That was it.
That's it. They made up their mind at that point. They immediately started organizing towards the A site. After this,
clean.
at a minute 37, I mean, every single bullet.
Yep.
Smell from Rops. He's done that to a couple of people in the past, you know. And so it comes down to this hold, and they just needed everything here. But Kerrigan's blind off this play. I thought Kerrigan was going to push towards lane and twist drop mini, potentially giving them a chance. But either way, no one got anything. So that's match point well earned. Second big map in a row from Yabi.
Shush as well. Mr. Consistency today. Five rounds straight to force overtime from FaZe.
Wow, utility damage. Amazing from Heroic. Still into FaZe's CT side, of course, so they have distinct advantage there. They've already played 15 rounds for themselves. But this could be the last one. Kerrigan's Moody looking down the barrel of an MP9 once again.
Ooh, tries to run it around. Okay, this, shall we put the bow on top?
Haven't seen Heroic drop a position like this in some time, but it's still possible.
Damn. A 3-round lead at the end of the half for Heroic. They maintained it. Every time FaZe got closer and closer, Heroic with the rebounds. A couple of B-site falters for FaZe. Even despite that wild round where we get to see Brokey and Twists pick up USP kills, it is still not enough. Not enough to inject the energy nor success into the veins of FaZe.
And a great day for Stown as well. And a great day for Heroic.
Yeah, very true. Starting the season well.
Maybe we could call this a real Yabi debut. You know, not Cologne. It was too soon.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Needed the summer off. Like you said, probably played all summer.
Yeah.
Made sure to sharpen his sword, and we've seen it. Just deleting Rops through the apartments last round, keeping him occupied here in round 26. The final round of this map of Inferno by the looks of things. A 2v5 retake, far too much to ask. Ock gets up close. Wait on, oh, hold on. Brokey catches 2 off guard. There's one more player close. His teammate's trying to come sprinting over because Brokey scares them all, but then he gets deleted. And so Cadian and Co have topped Group C. Heroic with an excellent day. They lost to FaZe in their first showing, come back on Inferno, and pick up that victory.
That's well done. They got a new performance coach. They got a new player, a new young talent out of Denmark. And everything's going swimmingly, and they take down the best team in the world, kick off the season, and don't be fooled. FaZe were playing well earlier today, so this is an enormous win.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had a match close between Big and Heroic that would have put in Heroic in a weird place where they could have been sent down to the showdown. Spring finals could have been in question, but with these last 2 wins of the day, they find themselves as the top seed of Group C, a single best-of-3 victory with potentially 2 chances to lock in a stage here in Copenhagen. Big day for Heroic, strong start for Yabi. Nice to see that improvement from Cologne here to fall groups. And with that, we send it down to James Banks on the floor. Final interview of the day. Let's see what Heroic have to say.
A different map, but certainly revenge that he's very happy with here. A very good performance there on Inferno. And I want to start by looking at your Inferno in the sense that the last few months, the only teams you beat were Finest and MIVR. Not exactly top tier teams, so you've been working on this?
I think if you look before that with Refresh, it was one of our best maps. Then we had Cologne, where we at least lost it to Mouse, and they completely crushed us. But it's a map we've always had big comfort in, and we've won important games on it before, in finals and stuff like this. So for me, we had the decision before the game to, was it going to be like, are we going to leave Mirage and Inferno open? And the original plan was Mirage, but my gut feeling said, let's go with Inferno. And it panned out really well. You know, kudos to my boys. One of the things from Cologne as well is that I didn't find my individual groove so much. And that wasn't only in terms of like individual skill, but also the calling. And here the calling felt so natural, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing for the team, that I'm feeling comfortable, that the boys can trust me, and that I have the gut feeling, and they executed it so well, you know. Jabby, finally, he gets that kind of breakthrough that he's been looking for, so yeah, good job, man.
And another thing there, right, you said about belief. If you don't believe in yourself, right, it's going to affect the rest of the team that has to come off into it. But I'm also going to say on the fact that, did you expect them to go for Nuke, you know, when they had the pick between Nuke and Inferno? Was that your initial thought that they might go back for that?
I think it's always kind of difficult to play the same map against a team that you already played, especially on the same day. So it's always tricky, the same against Big for us, you know, when you just played it a few hours earlier, all the small adjustments and stuff like this. Did you look at their Inferno stats? You know, they are pretty crisp. So I think they felt comfortable having Inferno, but it was a sneaky plan from us.
It definitely was. Now, also, just looking at Jabby, right, and the difference you're seeing here, obviously, like you mentioned, it's big and very important for him. But how do you feel overall in him settling in this first big event you've come to here this time around, and you've topped the group?
It feels good, you know, Jabby is a good guy. I think maybe outside the game he can be a little bit quiet. In the game he talks a bit more, and that's nice. But he's a good guy, and he has the heart at the right place. And one of the key components that we've been looking at from day one when I took over the in-game leader role in this organization was to build a team where everyone wants to do good for each other. Yeah. And that friendship is important, having the moral compass is important, and we just all trust each other. We all want to, you know, jump across each other, give a hero AK for the right guy at the right moment and stuff like this. So, yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's sitting there tweeting, you know. Go find him on Twitter, boys.
And also got to say this quickly, is the first map win over FaZe this year. Yeah. First of many?
I'm not going to sit here and fire Kerrigan and the boys up, you know, so I think this was the only one this year.
He's playing it safe. I can understand that. Let's go over to everyone else out there and close out the rest of the day.
Well, the Danes, they turn out to be the heroes of Group C. They joined the likes of NAVI and Astralis as their kings of their respective clans and taking the top seed. As we head into the gauntlet next week, I am pretty surprised that they were actually able to take down FaZe in that fashion. Very consistent firepower across the board.
Yeah, a very great Yabi Debi do.
That's it. You can leave now.
Can I leave now? It's okay. Have I done enough?
Yeah, you're out. You're off the show.
And this is why I'm getting paid. For that kind of joke. See?
That was the best you had? That's the best.
We have better ones in the green room, actually. I was expecting more out of you. Jacob, are you happy with what Yabi showed? I guess that's what we're talking about.
I'm very happy with everything apart from the joke right here, to be completely honest. Heroic were the better team here in Inferno, no doubt about it. It felt like every single round on their T side, they made it close. There was a couple of rounds, you know, with Tech 9s, with Mac 10s, with limited utility, limited weaponry. They still forced FaZe to either save, to lose the round, or to really fight for it every single time. Even though FaZe got off to a good start, I felt that Heroic were by far the better team here in Inferno. It wasn't even a competition in the second half. That speaks volume to the performance that Heroic put up on the server.
No, I agree. I think the second half told the whole story, and it's a story that we're not used to see. To see FaZe being forced into this position of passiveness on Inferno and not finding the information or being punished when they try to find the information. I have this round in mind where Yabi, the man we have on our screen right here, is just waiting top mid, forces Twist to go for information. He gets caught out, and then the B executes happen. FaZe were really stuck in their ways, stuck in their positions. They were too passive for the occurrence, too passive for the occasion, and Heroic win a very, very deserved Inferno.
Yeah, give them an inch and they'll take a mile in classic Heroic fashion. Now, I just want to go back to what you were saying at the beginning of the game, and I guess the beginning of the big game that we saw as well. The fact that most of the time their opponents did have the upper hand in terms of the rounds, the number that they were putting on the board. The fact that Heroic can bounce back in this situation, very impressive from them to have that fortitude.
I'm sure all the stat nerds out there could look into it, but I think Heroic is without a doubt the team who's won the most full buy rounds against other teams in this tournament so far. Their pistol rounds haven't been looking too good. We saw it in this game as well. In the second half, they lose the pistol, instantly fight back, instantly come in with a nice execute towards the B bomb side, win the secondary round, and from that point onwards, they took control over the game. I agree with you, Freya. Despite having slow starts, despite struggling a little bit in the beginning of the games, they still find a way to fight back, and they still look like the better team on the server. It was very, very impressive, and then as we spoke about it, Yabi finally having this breakthrough within Heroic. He was playing well in the play in at Cologne, struggled a little bit more during the Cologne group stages, but this time around in this game, he cemented himself, and we saw glimpses of what we can expect from him in the future as well.
And it's just the beginning of the path
for
Yabi and his Heroic adventure. That's what this is. Cologne was obviously a bit complicated, not as smooth as we would have hoped for, but now, and I think this is also why we're seeing such reaction and emotions out of Heroic. They're not only looking for a good seed in the gauntlet, they're looking for proof of concept of the lineup they have and the team they have formed. And obviously they didn't find that I guess, confidence you could talk about in Cologne, but here, taking a map off of FaZe, being first in their group, that confirms them in the idea that this can work, and these kind of successes early on in the season can make a difference.
Heroic is currently number 14 on the world ranking. That's something Katie and even highlighted going into this game against FaZe. We're number 14. We're playing against the best team in the world. We got nothing to lose, but let's win and take over that number 1 spot. So you're right, Matthew. It is very, very important for Heroic to fight their way back into it. Obviously, they're down on the ranking given to the roster change, given to the bad performance at Cologne, but they're not playing like they're a top 14 team right now. We know Heroic to be a top 5 team, and that's also why they made the roster changes out with Refresh, in with Yabi, because they want to win trophies. And this win right here is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I want to take a look at this gauntlet as well, because now we do have all the places cemented as we do conclude our final group of this group stage here at Blast Premiere. I just want to ask you guys, who do you think has the toughest route throughout this gauntlet? Because the teams that we see on the left are just going to be continuing through the brackets that we do see on our screen.
Yeah, so basically what's going to happen is 2 teams per line will make it to the fall final.
Yes.
Right? So the question is, who has it worse? It's kind of hard to say. I guess that the G2 Big Vitality Navi is not exactly an easy one either, because G2 haven't really given us any insurances. We're not sure what we're going to get from them. Big have surprised a little bit. Vitality is still in their debut, their infancy when this Sphinx lineup, and obviously Simple's going to come back to put everyone at ease. So that one is going to be a tough one as well.
Yeah, obviously we see FaZe with that second place result in Group C. They'll be going into the semi-finals of that first bracket that we see on our screens. Would you, I mean, I was expecting FaZe to be placing first in this group. Would you say it's a disappointment, or do you think, you know, it's just for seeding, there's no elimination? Are you putting anything in terms of stock? In terms of
they're gonna make it anyway. Especially bracket A, let's call it that one. You know, it's not too big of a competition for FaZe. It shouldn't be. Astralis is struggling a little bit. Yesterday they lost to a random mixed team. They're having a tough time qualifying for the RMR even. So if you're FaZe right now, you're still very, very confident that you're gonna make it to the next stages. So yeah, I much rather want to focus on Heroic and saying that was a good start. You know, they came in, as we spoke about, super motivated to rinse away the disappointment that was IM Cologne and really get off to a good start here.
One of the themes we had across the beginning of 2022 for FaZe was managing your performance and when to peak. Yeah. And let's be real, here right now was not the place to bring your 200% Counter-Strike. Yeah. They've already secured a second spot in that gauntlet. They have all the favors of the public and the audience to make it through the Royal Arena. And if they do, then that is going to be the moment to play their game or their A game. They've done it through the beginning of 2022. I see no reason why this would be any different now.
Well, before we do round out the week and the best of ones here at the full groups, let's get a few words from Carrigan.
Carrigan, you suffered a loss at the very end here to take second place in the group overall, but you had a good day up until that point, right? How do you view this game, and what are you looking at in terms of how Heroic performed versus how you guys came into this one?
Yeah, I think we played great so far until I think the last game. I think we had some communication issues, couldn't really close the rounds, and it was a strange game from our side. It felt like we won more ecos and force buys than weapon rounds, and that not really happened to us before. So maybe it's the start of the season and we have to get back and forth. And I think it's good we get a loss here to reevaluate how we can play better. But yeah, overall a pretty decent day. Second or first in group is just seeding and playing. You have to feel still win 2 best of 3s. So yeah, we'll do our best to do that. But overall, I'm happy about today, but obviously not so happy about the ending.
Yeah, and looking at your Inferno, right, I thought when it comes down to your T size, normally that's why I see a lot of this good success from you guys. Was it just a different error in how they were playing, a change up from what you noticed compared to on their CT side, what they normally do?
I don't think really. I just think there was some of the situation we tried to execute. We were like 5 seconds off page, and the split is not how it's supposed to be, or we weren't reacting to the information we had when we knew that's 2B and 2A. We should just like go for the trades. That's normally what we do. If it's because people have been waiting and tired, or we just a little off, I have no idea. But obviously it happens now and then that we are not on the same page and not reacting and playing the way we're supposed to. But yeah, overall it's fine. It's not like the world end.
It definitely isn't, right? Like you said, you've got the best of 3s now going forward onto the rest of it. Now, how will you spend your days? Will you take a day off in between this now and wait for your other games, or are you going to go straight back to full practice? How's it working for FaZe?
I think tomorrow we're going to review the games for today, the wins and the losses, and try to improve that on practice. So we do half-day practice tomorrow, full day Tuesday, and Wednesday I have some media, and we go there to take a day off to either my parents' place on Wednesday, back at it at first day to practice, and then Friday we play, I guess. I don't know really when we play. I guess it's Friday.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm trying to do it in my head now while you're saying that at the same time. But overall, with the best of ones and coming into it and how volatile best of ones can be, would you say you're satisfied with what you saw today?
Yeah, I mean, it's no shame to lose to Heroic. I mean, it's best of one. Everything can happen. Everybody said that for 5 years, right? And we have seen that in other groups as well. But all I'm happy. Obviously, being first in group is always a better feeling. But at this point, I'm not worried. It's still start of the season, and now we have a few days to grind the mistakes. And we came here to finish off qualifying for the 4 finals. If we are top 3 or top 6, it doesn't really matter. We just come here and get the job done. And yeah, we put in a situation now. We have to at least win 1 best of 3 and not lose 2 in a row. If that happens, I'm obviously very unhappy.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to get to that stage yet. But do you think it means a lot to them in order to get that win over you guys like this as well? And do you think that's going to, next time you meet, come into the factor?
Not really. I think it's still a group stage match. It is basically playing for seeding. It's not like they're moving into a semi-final or something like that. But if they are really happy about it, so let them be. I mean, they're a new team, right? It's probably their biggest win so far. But yeah, taking into consideration it's best of 1. It was 1-1 in maps today against them. So yeah. In the end, maybe we meet them in the best of 3. Even though I don't think it's possible. But yeah, doesn't really matter.
We'll see how it goes when it gets to it. Thank you very much, Kerrigan.
See ya.
Certainly no rest for the Wicked as it's full practice and preparation heading into those best of 3s next week. But yeah, I just want to echo the sentiments of Kerrigan there. I don't think I'm particularly worried for FaZe going through in that 2nd place position.
You shouldn't be. As he said, it's basically playing for seeding. They're slowly but surely going to edge into the season. And I bite my note in the fact that he said they were going to the father of Kerrigan to eat on Thursday. That is kind of like a speciality for his teams as well. And I've been there once. His father is one hell of a cook, so I'm pretty sure that the FaZe players are coming in full, first and foremost, on Friday, but also ready to play.
Did you receive your invite for this time around? Did they invite you?
God.
Oh, well,
Rude.
maybe we can ask for a little invitation to
He's
that
one
very
hell of a
special
cook.
meal. But before we do that, I do want to hear from somebody else who's making their debut. It's Heroic's performance coach with a few words after that game.
I've got Lasse with me here. I'm going to introduce you guys to. He is the new performance coach here at Heroic. And to start off with, right, you have a hugely successful career. I was telling Katie, and I was looking down all your achievements, world champion, European champion. You know what it takes to be a champion, right? But how do you look at the difference between what you had in handball to what you have now here in Counter-Strike? And how different is it for you?
Well, I mean, it's a different sport, but the things you have to be good at is pretty much the same, especially mentally. So I think we have a great group of guys who are very, very confident. So my work gets easier there, but I mean, they are also a group that needs support, and I'm going to deliver that.
When you first got asked about this role and to do this job, how much did you know about Counter-Strike? Were you aware of it? Had you followed it at all, played it?
Not played it that much,
Okay.
but we watched it in. I played in Germany, handball in Germany, and we had some very long bus rides.
Oh.
And so we watched Counter-Strike now and then. So I was a little bit into it, but I mean the last couple of weeks has been very intense for me. So I've learned a lot, and I think I will strive to get even better. Mm-hmm. Maybe not playing, but at least understanding.
Yeah. And in terms of that understanding, right, what have you been able to take away from this event? What have you been able to like look at and say, okay, this is what the guys are maybe missing, for example? Because obviously this is a great group stage for them. They've won. They just beat the best team in the world in a best of 1. But obviously you're looking at things probably very differently to what we are.
Yeah,